Hello and welcome. I'm Elizibar. We're going to talk briefly about what Tyler's got going on here in this tweet. Now, he had like this 2.5 hour long stream with another creator, and they went through a lot of this stuff. They talked through a lot of this stuff. They brought examples up from the past. This is a pretty good stream. I thought, hey, I should go clip a bunch of stuff out of that stream, and then we can talk about that here. But then I realized I don't really need to, because I think my point is a lot quicker to make than what Tyler's got going on here. Because if you look here, he's got some very practical, very real concerns. The books are expensive. No digitals, so you got to get that physical, which means you got shipping costs, which, especially overseas, is expensive. Trust that the creator's not going to take the money and run. The frequency of the books. If you only put out like one book a year, it's really hard to build a following. Really hard to get another, like, if you're selling number 2, it's really hard to sell a number 1. Or for the person trying to buy your book to get that number 1. I'm actually going to dig into what Cody Fernandez said here. This one. So, I think this is kind of a big one that can drive people away. Now, the business concerns are valid and real. And I'm not trying to shortchange the whole, like, hey, this creator took, $100,000 and never made anything. I think, didn't Critias, wasn't his campaign like that? He made like $100,000 for Detective Dead or whatever it was and produced nothing. Pretty lame. But a disrespect between creators, okay? Now, the way I read this is drama. I admit, I'm putting some words into Cody's mouth here, but I'm pretty sure Cody is saying this as a polite way to say drama. And it's not just between creators, it's also between creators and fans, fans and creators, fans and fans, which is kind of the worst. Because then the fans start asking the creators to pick sides in their argument, which has nothing to do with the creator. And that is probably the biggest, worst, dumbest thing in independent comics. Go on comics Twitter and just try to see who is talking about books. Who right now is talking about books? Who right now is maybe cracking jokes or making memes? Okay? And then go look around and see just how much stuff of this person said this thing about this person. You know? Because you know who said you know what about you know who. Like stuff like that. There's tons of it. I'm pretty sure that kind of discussion, that kind of argumentativeness, I hope that's a word, outweighs the actual discussion of the books, the plot lines, the characters, the process of creating them, any of that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure the drama reigns, which makes sense because there's one thing people like talking about a lot. Themselves. And there's one thing they like talking about almost as much as that, and that's other people. Human beings are wired to be very social creatures, which means that even in a world where we are busy making cool comics, and I don't even know what this GIF is. There, let's just animate that so you got something to look at here. Oh yeah, okay, that's kind of freaking me out with the eye twitch. But even in a world where we got people creating really cool comic books, you got people who just want to talk about other people instead of the product, instead of the thing that's really cool, instead of the thing kind of driving the fandom, if you will. And I really don't like some of these words like fandom and community and all that because they grate on me. They feel artificial. Because that's not what comic books is. That's not what any real, quote, community is. It's actually a bunch of cliques, or cliques, however you want to pronounce that. I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation is. Sorry, I apologize. It's got a Q in it, okay? It's weird. But any of these areas, any of these fandoms, are really made up of a bunch of groups that don't like each other and chafe against each other and are constantly trying to one-up each other. Now, there are people who kind of stand aside and get out of that, but even they get drawn into stuff sometimes. I'm sure if I went back in time, like I could go look through Cody's Twitter timeline or his videos or his streams or whatever and find sometime he got into an argument with somebody. And he is like the most neutral person when it comes to comic books because he just wants to sell his space western book everybody. I think, to go back up to the original question here, the thing that sucks the most is that if you don't have all that kind of drama, driving clicks and views, then the kind of content being produced, and I hate that word content, but the kind of stuff appearing on YouTube, the videos being made, streams being run, would change in character. They would no longer be, let's talk about this person, let's talk about that person, let's get outraged at this thing. It would become, hey, look at this. My book has these 3 really cool new pages I just got from the artist. Isn't this awesome? Let's zoom in here and watch as the colorist like colors the book or something. But I know, and you know, and I think everybody knows, that kind of material does not get views. What does get views is so and so said this, let's get mad about it. That's just how it is. That's just how people are wired. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. That's the world we live in, and it sucks. So there you go, Tyler. There you go. I hope you all have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's have a little wave, because you get a wave and a thumbs up. So take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.